Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. Each week, we talk openly and honestly about the hard things in life together with you. So join us and some of our dearest friends and greatest heroes to talk about anxiety, boundaries, parenting, infidelity, our bodies, loving and losing, all of the things that make us human. Listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the Drink Desk and Steve Throw Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast 34-year-old Holly Strebbins of Portsmouth, England. Now, Holly was diagnosed with temporomandibular joint syndrome. In other words, she has a disorder of the jaw muscles and nerves caused by injury or inflammation to the connection between the jawbone and the skull. You follow me there? So anyway, she's had the condition for 3 years, and in that time, she has had 5 surgeries and 12 screws put into the left side of her mouth. Now, she's having her actual bottom jaw replaced with prosthetic joints, which is insane to me, but I guess it's something they could do. But the question is, what happened 3 years ago that led to all of this? The good news is it's not really something you're born with. It's not something that's contagious. The problem that Holly had is she dislocated her own jaw in an attempt to stretch her mouth around a KFC hash brown double burger. That would be bacon, cheese, and hash browns stuffed between 2 chicken patties. All right? So they launched this thing over here in England. It was a big, tall sandwich, and literally, just to take a bite of it, she opened her mouth as wide as she could to the point that she ended up getting temporomandibular joint syndrome. It is, I looked at the sandwich. It's a big sandwich.
15 surgeries.
Sometimes you look at a sandwich.
I need a sandwich.
And you just kind of push it down. Like you just know your mouth is not made for it. She went for it, and she's not happy about it. Now, the good news is she's not trying to launch a lawsuit or anything, but she did say, I really would hope that as a result of my case, that local fast food establishments will not develop sandwiches that are so very tall. Think about that. Trying to open your mouth wide enough to eat a KFC sandwich because they stacked it that high.
I do wonder sometimes when I see sandwiches, I'm just like, there's no way to eat that. Like
Carnegie Deli.
I'm going to have to, right, you have to get extra bread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because right, you're going to take all the meat out. Anyway, well, I think she's learned. So let's drink.
Oh, she learned.
Mm-hmm. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bijola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steve Throw Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola! All right, Anthony, do you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of 3 stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Now let's go with Bite Me today.
Okay. 2 days in a row.
All right, here's your story. Now, sure, finding a dead animal in your frozen vegetables might be shocking, but the woman who discovered it says she was stunned at how fast the unappetizing discovery leapt from one news website to the other. She said, quote, I was in shock when the lady from the Today Show called my husband. News of the couple's discovery and their bag of frozen mixed vegetables has elicited a widespread chorus of ews. Why? Because if they found a freaking dead animal in their bag of vegetables. The husband says, quote, I'm learning what viral is. Basically, he contacted the media this week after he said he alerted the FDA, but the agency didn't respond. Anyway, the woman involved says she opened the bag to feed her dog because her dog's on a special diet of vegetables and meat to treat a skin condition. So she poured some of the vegetables into the bowl and she spotted something. Well, when she figured out what it was, she decided she did not want her dog to eat that. So the chain that sold it, they did pull the product from their 7 Pennsylvania area stores, and employees opened all of the packages that had the same date and lot code to visually inspect all the bags. There were no problems discovered, so basically she got the one unlucky bag. Now the question is, what animal did she find in her bag of frozen vegetables? Was it a frog? Was it a mouse? All right, was it a frog? Was it a mouse? Was it a rat? Or was it part of a chicken?
Was the frog like a poisonous frog?
Maybe, if that's what you found in the bag.
I don't know why that matters. Yeah, was the frog poisonous? Or
That's the first thing you're thinking, too, when you're biting into a frog in your sandwich and accidentally get out there.
I hope it's not poisonous.
Jesus.
Oh, I don't trip on this.
Ted, I'm going to go rat.
Gosh.
With a D about that long.
I'm with you, man. For some reason, I think it's rat, too.
Okay, all right. Anthony?
I'm thinking rat too, but I'm just going to go to the opposite and say frog.
You're going to go frog.
Wait, is it a poisonous frog?
Anthony?
Regular frog?
Doesn't matter what kind of frog it is.
Is it a peace frog?
Yes, the peace frog. Senor frog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kermit the frog.
The one in Chilean, not Mexico. Okay, so you're going to go frog. Final answer, Anthony?
Yeah, frog.
Okay, we're going to find out if this animal is a frog, a mouse, a rat, or a chicken next.
Jesus Christ.
That didn't work?
That was a tease.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
Dig your vinyl, man. My budget doesn't. Calling time on collecting. Don't give it up. State Farm has options to get you a surprisingly great rate. Rock on. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is Bite Me on profile. This woman in Pennsylvania found a dead animal in a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. In a twist of fate, they were not for her family. They were actually for her dog that was on a special diet. That does not mean the situation is any different. There was still a dead animal.
No, it's a lot different.
In the frozen mixed vegetables.
It is a lot different, man, because you discover this dead animal in the product, and you go, man, I'm glad I caught that, but let's face it, your dog licks its butt, it eats other dog's poop. Like, the dog, I'm sure, would have been fine.
Right,
whatever
but the bag
it was.
of mixed vegetables was for human consumption. I mean, yes. The dog can't eat it. It's on a special diet. But either way, there was a dead animal in that bag of mixed vegetables. Was it a frog, a mouse, a rat, or a chicken?
And, Anthony, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let us begin with Ted Smith and Miles Montgomery. Both of whom agreed that it was a rat. It was not a rat. And then, Anthony, you went with the frog. You never did clarify what kind of frog specifically you thought it might be, but you went with frog. And you are
he was
correct.
right.
That's
You were right that you didn't specify, and it was, in fact, a poisonous frog.
Yeah.
Was it?
Don't know.
It's like, how do you know that?
If they let the dog eat it, we would know.
That just seems like an odd question.
Was it? I don't know why he asked that, but look, he had specific questions.
It worked.
And he was right.
It worked. Yeah, I am wrong.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
The Jimmies.
We have Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, and David Spade in for Jimmy Kimmel.
That is correct.
Yes.
James Corden.
Oh, James Corden.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right. It's right there in the title. All these guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
A man named Don Gorski holds the Guinness World Record for the most McDonald's Big Macs ever eaten. He's closing in on 50 years of eating one every single day. Said his wife, it would be nice if he ate something else every day.
Jesus. Ted Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to go you, Ted.
Yeah, that was me.
Well, there's no way they said that on TV.
I don't think any guy's going to turn that down.
I thought maybe Seth Meyers would say that.
You know what? He might. You're right.
You think there's a guy out there who every day for 50 years has done that?
No.
I don't either.
Not because he didn't want to.
Right.
I would get tired after a while. I'd be like, really?
I don't know how many years. It would take me. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, 50 years.
Every day?
Why are your lips always chapped?
Even things I like doing, I don't do every day.
And so you can continue to enjoy it.
If I could take a day off from peeing, I would.
You can.
I mean, I can, but that's not good for you. Disney has just released its prices for its new Star Wars hotel, and it could cost you up to $6,000 for a 2-night stay.
Jesus.
While over at Marriott, $6,000 will get you the entire Marriott.
Seth Meyers.
Fallon.
That's actually Fallon.
Disney just released the prices for its new Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser hotel, and it can cost you up to $6,000 for a 2-night stay. While over at the Marriott, $6,000 will get you the entire Marriott.
Which, am I losing my mind? To me, Marriott was always like the nicer version of kind of. Like as a kid, it was like if we stayed at a Marriott, it was like, holy crap.
Meant someone else was paying.
All their other subsidiaries too are good. There's breakfast and all that.
Courtyard?
Yeah. Fairfield Inn, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't mind Marriott, man.
I don't either. Indoor pool, weight room.
I've never even thought to look for like the gym. You know, when you get check in the hotel and they're like, we have a pool. Like, cool. They'll mention a gym. I don't even know if I hear it.
Yeah.
Like, why are your lips moving? Because no sound came out.
Yeah.
That in a conference center.
Usually Saturday morning, there's a few people in there doing stuff.
I'll never know.
A business owner can't convince all of his employees to get vaccinated. One employee even said she was concerned because she thought a vaccine had caused the characters in the film I Am Legend to turn them into zombies. So I'm guessing the requirements to get a job there are not that demanding.
Yeah, in that moment, I'd be like, I'm going to have to fire you. And it has nothing to do with the vaccine. You're just stupid.
Plus, you watch that movie.
David Spade.
Oh, yeah. Myers.
Fallon.
An optical business owner says he can't convince all of his employees to be vaccinated. One employee said she was concerned because she thought a vaccine had caused the characters in the film I Am Legend to turn into zombies. So I'm guessing the requirements to get a job at that store are not that demanding.
Also, don't believe everything you see in movies. You can feed gremlins after midnight. Being a middle-aged man on TikTok is a lot like being a middle-aged man at Chuck E. Cheese alone. No one said there's an age limit, but I should probably be escorted out.
That's either D. Ted Smith, because I know you have that weird thing about you. Well, it's probably not a weird thing.
Or Seth Meyers. I'm going to go Seth Meyers.
D. Ted Smith.
David Spade.
Being a middle-aged man on TikTok is like being a middle-aged man at Chuck E. Cheese alone. No one said there's an age limit, but I
probably should be escorted out.
I think it's kind of a healthy thing that I think middle-aged men shouldn't just be hanging out with no children.
No, you are absolutely correct, Dad.
Again, I don't know if it's in their rules, but rule of thumb. Like, look, I'm 40. What if you're with your kids and I'm just sitting on a park bench by a park? You're going to be like, what's going on?
You are absolutely correct. I'll keep my eye on you.
If it's a children's park.
Anything you do, I'm going to scrutinize. Anything. If you're on your phone, if he's taking pictures of our kids, I'm going to go over there and kick his ass.
But honestly, I think I don't think there's anything wrong with kids having a place where they don't have to worry about adults being there, where they can just, enjoy themselves. That's why they all fled Instagram, Facebook, all these different platforms. I mean, just let them
adults keep showing up.
Let them have Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think social media is a little bit different. Obviously, the younger generation's going to be quicker to adapt.
Yeah.
And they don't, but I'm not going to lie. There's some, TikTok is different. I think a lot of the creators are younger in this and that, but there is some funny S on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just me, like a bunch of my friends, my brother, like sometimes I'm stressed with my brother. I'm like, what are you doing? Because by the time I call him after work, right, it's like 9 or 10, it's like 10 o'clock his time. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got stuck watching TikToks.
Yep. You tell him that's funny because I'm calling you from Chuck E. Cheese.
Let's see. All right. So the Tokyo Olympics were the least watched games ever.
And you know what's crazy about that? I probably watch more of this Olympics than any other in the past.
Right. So
no one else did, but I did.
So there's a lot of, in my opinion, dumb theories. Mm-hmm. Right. A lot of people are like, told you nobody'd watch it because of the woke athletes and this and that. But also, you got to keep in mind that with social media, you know what I mean? Like, everything's tape delayed. And then everybody knows the results. Mm-hmm. This isn't like Right, this isn't like back in the old days where you kind of had to sit around for the primetime coverage to watch it.
Yeah, I woke up every single morning and I had push notifications from ESPN and just regular news, Google News, that was telling me who won gold, who won silver, who won bronze, and if the U.S. had any medals go in. So if you had any interest at all in watching it, you already know what the result's going to be.
But they also show you the highlights. So it's not even like you just hear, and then here's a link to the highlights. You watch, the last bit of this run or the show, whatever it is that you're looking at, and you're like, well, I don't need to watch it now.
I also still think, or not still, but I think nowadays too, there's just so much more sports.
There are.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could watch, you know what I mean? Like for instance,
Miles is watching cornhole.
Right,
I've been watching PBR bowl, not PBR bowling. What is it? Professional PBA bowling.
Right, but I mean, when we get to the fall, right? I'll wake up on a Sunday morning, I will watch English soccer live on my TV in America. Then I'll watch a Formula One race somewhere in Europe live on my TV. Then I'll watch NFL football. You know what I mean?
Or cricket or whatever.
Right, I have a channel called Willow that just shows cricket. I think the Olympics, some of the luster is kind of gone, and I get it. You still want to compete for a gold medal, but it's kind of I don't know. And it's also there's Miles, with the cornholes,
Sure.
But some of these weirder sports aren't as weird anymore. With all the sports channels, you could watch every summer. You can watch Olympic trials or not Olympic trials, but the U.S. I don't know what the hell they call them. Track and field.
I think one of the important things, though, and I think there's two distinctions. One is the Olympics is designed for these athletes to compete, so they put all this emphasis on TV viewership. At the heart of this, it has nothing to do with it. That is for these athletes to compete, to find out where they stand in the world, and I almost feel bad for them sometimes. They barely even cover that. It's always, how are the TV ratings?
Sure.
Hey, regardless of whether or not anyone watched it, look, if nobody watched me and I'm in track and field and I have the chance to get gold, I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter to me whether there's a billion viewers. I want a gold medal. Whether you saw it or not is completely irrelevant. And the other thing they could do, Scott Hansen, Octobox. You got all these different hey, I'm Scott Hansen. We got javelin going on here. We got weightlifting here. Why not?
I will say this.
Yeah.
I got suckered in the Olympics, and same thing with cornhole, because it's things that I don't normally watch. And I'm just, and it's the spirit of the competition. And back in the day of ESPN, when they didn't have all these major contracts or talking head shows and all that stuff, it gets to be about 10 o'clock at night before SportsCenter or after that, they would show Australian rules football. They would show the lumberjack competition with guys sawing stuff down and just all these different things that you never really watched before. Cricket was on there. There was just a bunch of different sports. I would watch that stuff constantly because it was stuff that I didn't have access to normally. I wish they would still put that stuff on overnight. I'd get suckered into it again. I mean, I can watch Australian rules football. Every time it comes on, I'm like, oh, I like this. Even rugby, man. That was one of the things I really liked about the Olympics. They used to have rugby on at night and all that stuff. It's like,
if you like Aussie rules football, Fox Sports 1 usually has some Friday and Saturday nights. But I think they start at like midnight for us.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, if arena football's on, I watch it.
I will also say this. Now, these ratings for the Olympics, right? Because I think every fall I go through this speech. These ratings are terrible for the Olympics. But you're still talking about, right? They were averaging 15.5 million over the platforms over that. So while they're the least watch, like primetime stuff for the Olympics, they're also still pulling a good number.
Yeah.
So like TV, like Olympic coverage is not going anywhere.
And,
you know what I mean?
Well, for the first time ever, there's a strategy behind getting people to sign up for the different platforms that are out there. And Peacock specifically, all of the USA basketball team, most of those games are only available on that platform.
Right. Correct.
So where you could watch that on primetime, you would get more viewers. People want to see KD play or whoever the hell it is. Green, they didn't get a chance to see it. So, and I'm not sure if they count those numbers or not. They probably do, but you have to have a subscription to be able to watch that show.
Well, like the final night, like last Saturday, when they had the final night, they had 10.5 million, but 8.5 of them were on NBC.
Okay, right. If you take it off the network, your numbers go down.
But I'm with you. Like, I watch a lot of soccer and stuff on Peacock. That's how I watch my rugby. It's how I watch my Harlequins.
Your Harlequins.
Representing...
It's a club team in London.
Okay.
They're literally called the Harlequins.
Sound like a romance channel.
The Harlequins?
Yeah, it's like, is this more of that rom-com?
No. It's like a jester. That's like their mascot.
Oh, right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. TV for you tonight. I know a lot of people think season 2 is weird, but I still like Dave. It's a good show. FXX, second season finale, 10 o'clock tonight if you want to check that out. If you have Hulu, you probably already watched it.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility. Terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
Love the mochas here.
Too bad my budget doesn't.
Sarah, don't give it up. State Farm has options to get you a surprisingly great rate.
Thanks, Jake. Next round's on me.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. An Oklahoma mom learns it's a bad idea to invite Bigfoot to a kid's birthday party. How come I can't get that out of my mouth? Bigfoot to a kid's birthday party. Meanwhile, a Pennsylvania man wearing nothing but underwear breaks into home and threatens to party. A man who threatened to blow up McDonald's over dipping sauces has his day in court. Speaking of, man sets up tattoo parlor at McDonald's while working on someone way too short. And a handcuffed man hijacks an ATV before leading police on a wild chase. It's not my day, but it's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
Still trying to figure out handicap. Alrighty.
I read through that 4 times before we did that. Still just butchered the hell out of it.
Our top story in a video shared online, we find that once again, children do not like mascots. A woman posted the video of her daughter's 6th birthday party, in which they hired Mrs. Bigfoot. The camera pans to the Sasquatch as she taps on the window for a surprise appearance before making her way into the building. But this is no ordinary Sasquatch. No, this mascot looks fairly similar to the Jack's Lynx Sasquatch with a tutu on. As you can assume, the kids can be seen and heard screaming in terror as they try to hide from the creature. This isn't like Washington State Fair Sasquatch.
Right.
This is angry, wild,
Yeah.
savage looking.
Yeah. This is beef jerky Sasquatch.
This is beef jerky Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And the kids notice that.
Kids already are afraid of, like, the Mariner Moose, man.
Right.
So how could you expect them not to freak out when a giant hairball's in here?
I wonder whose idea it was.
Right.
Also, that's not like a mascot.
Right.
Like, people like
Bigfoot?
And it wasn't one kid. It was every single kid at that party.
This was a
Freaked
birthday party,
the hell out. How would you know what kind of party it is, Mike?
Well, there were multiple kids there, so it was one that I hadn't seen before there, Miles.
see.
It was strange. It was a new world for me. In other news, we go to Pennsylvania, where police dealt with a bomb in a local basement. Police were called by a driver that was approached by a man in nothing but his underwear who was yelling at him. Shortly into that encounter, the man used a chair to break into a window of a nearby basement where he refused to leave. Police eventually kicked in the basement door, where they found their man lying flat on the ground claiming to be a bomb. He was claiming to be a bomb, and he could not be moved. He was eventually coaxed out of the basement and arrested on multiple charges. And much to Thrill's chagrin, not a single drug was mentioned in that entire story.
How about this dude asked me, I was going to use it for profile this. Like, what drug are you on when you lay in a stranger's house in your underwear and tell people, and you believe this to be true, I'm a human bomb.
Right. You are an explosive device.
Because I'm like, come on, man. Tell me he had to be on something, right?
Not a thing. Not a thing. A man in Iowa is in court all because he was unhappy with his fast food order. After getting his food and realizing he had no dipping sauce, he called the chain and made some threatening comments about, quote-unquote, someone punching one of the employees and the store blowing up. After tracking him down and arresting him, they reduced his charge from felony threatening to second-degree harassment.
Again, that's because he didn't get his dipping sauce.
Right. That's the adult thing to do.
He's still the idiot of the town, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big place. Everyone knows. They know he's made national news. They know who that guy is.
I like how we dodged everything by not saying, I'm going to go beat somebody's ass in there and I'm going to blow up the
he got banned from there.
What fast food joint was it?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one McDonald's in that town.
Right.
He can't go anymore.
Bro, go back and get some more sauce.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Criminy.
Who cares?
A man in Pennsylvania was pulled over late at night for an inoperable taillight and expired inspection. I like this guy. And managed to make it worse. Instead of taking the minor possible punishment, the man decided to hedge his bets and get out of it. He claimed that he was actually a part of a 6-man task force that was deployed to the area to investigate police misconduct. Needless to say, this didn't sit well with the officers, who then figured out that he was no official at all. And then he then had impersonating an officer to the list of his charges that he faced.
Just a word of advice, and it's just my opinion. If you are going to try to impersonate a cop, try it with anyone other than an actual cop.
Yes.
Right.
Any profession.
And you were pulled over for a taillight that wasn't working. Any other time that I've ever been pulled over for something like that, including my tabs being expired, it's, hey, fix this.
Right.
Get it figured out.
Here's a charge. Get it figured out.
Exactly. Way to make it worse. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. More Men's Room on the way. The Men's Room Happy Hour is next, exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. Just search for the Men's Room Happy Hour, and we'll see you in a couple seconds.
Yes, indeed. In the meantime, we'll be all about this bitch for 90 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
There's a new and different way to fund your business or side hustle without the hassles of a loan. HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor that gives you access to your home equity in cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value with no monthly payments or interest. How you use the money is totally up to you. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com. HomeTap.com.